Thank you so much for joining us on your mat today. We're here because a number of scientific studies now demonstrate the benefits of integrative techniques like mindfulness meditation and yoga for helping people cope with all kinds of stress, including stress as dramatic as that originating in combat zones. Armor Down is a wonderful organization that connects service members and veterans with mindfulness-based resources like this. I'm Laurie Robertson, and my studio, Whole Yoga and Pilates, has partnered with Armor Down and with Kharma Khare, which makes these awesome premium recycled yoga mats, to bring you this series of yoga practices. If you have any questions about whether these practices are safe for you, contact us at the studio or consult with your healthcare provider. You might like to have a couple of thick blankets or nice supportive bath towels available to help make your practice more comfortable. To begin, find yourself a safe, relatively quiet space for your practice. And remember that it doesn't need to be perfect. Dogs will bark, sirens might go by. It's all part of your practice of coming fully into the present, just as it is. Take a moment now to really arrive on your mat. Be right here, nowhere else. Know that it's natural for the mind to wander off, to begin its job of thinking. So gently redirect your focus every time that happens. Each wandering away is a new beginning, a new opportunity. As you come into your best presence now, bring your awareness to the information being presented to you by your senses. Notice sounds, images, possibly tastes and smells. Notice too the sensations that arise in your body. Notice your breath. As you become more grounded in the present moment through your yoga practice, you may begin to notice how much your emotions and even everyday situations affect your breathing. Its rate, its depth, its quality. The physiological changes brought about by your breathing patterns in turn affect your emotions. It's a two-way street. To begin our breathing practices today, come onto your back. Settle yourself down comfortably. Allow your knees to be bent and your feet to be flat on the floor. And begin to take some nice full breaths in through the nose and out through the nose if possible. As a process that happens both involuntarily without us thinking about it, and one that can be brought under our conscious control, the breath is a bridge between the body and the mind, and it's a tool for working with present time awareness. The subsequent practices in this series will build on the full, relaxed breath we cultivate here. We'll begin by freeing up space in the body before moving into a specific pranayama or breathwork technique, and then we'll do a few more movements and another pranayama. This practice is appropriate for most people, but if you feel dizzy or lightheaded, come back to a natural, easy breath. You can try again in a moment or two, gradually increasing the amount of time you spend on your breathing practices. Our first exercise will be on our sides. And you might like to have a blanket to support your neck or your head. Allow your knees to stack one on top of the other and your ankles to stack on top of each other. Stretch your bottom arm out and allow your top hand to rest on that bottom palm. Take a full breath in and float the top fingertips toward the ceiling. As you exhale, stretch that arm back behind you and relax your shoulder. Inhale to lift the fingertips and exhale to close the palms. Coordinate breath with movement. Inhale, lift, and exhale, stretch. Inhale, float the fingertips up, and exhale, settle the palms together. Continue this movement with your own breath. Find your own rhythm. Keep your neck nice and easy. Remember, we're not bringing any strain into the body with our yoga practice. Do this movement a couple more times. Maybe the gaze wants to follow those fingertips, if that feels good to the neck. The next time your arm is open behind you, just relax here. Allow that shoulder to drop toward the mat. And take some full breaths into the ribs. If your hand doesn't reach the floor, you can always add a blanket under the back of the hand or near the elbow. Enjoy a few more rounds of breath here, expanding the ribs. And the next time you're ready to inhale, reach wide, fingertips to fingertips. Exhale, soften completely. Relax your shoulders, relax your ribs. And allow your next inhalation to lift that back arm toward the ceiling. And exhale the palms together. Take a moment here to just breathe into the new spaces you've created in your ribs. Notice if there's a difference between one side and the other. And when you're ready, slowly shift over onto your other side. And we'll do the same series again. Stack knees and ankles. Stack your palms. And then breathe in, lift the top arm, and breathe out, stretch it back. Inhale to float up, and exhale to relax. Really see if you can coordinate your breath with your movement. And allow those inhales to generate movement. It's as if the breath is expanding the ribs, which it is. And it's as if those breaths are initiating the movements. Go at your own pace. And remain aware of shifts in your body. Any changes in your breath. Take this a couple more times. And then remain open, breathing into the ribs. Possibly supporting that back arm. Notice if any tension has crept into the body. Let's see if you can release it. On your next breath in, float the back arm up, and exhale the palms together. stay here for a couple of breaths, just noticing. And when you're ready, make your way onto your back and draw your knees into your chest. Feel your breath pressing against your thigh bones. And again, just notice. Release your left leg and allow that foot to settle onto your mat. Once again, begin to coordinate breath with movement. As you inhale, release your right thigh bone away from your body. And as you exhale, draw that knee a little bit closer. Small movements here. Inhale, relax the knee away. And exhale, draw it closer. You might like to stretch your left leg out for a deeper stretch. Begin to notice how your breath changes the sensations in the body. As you exhale, you might notice more length across the top of the left thigh. And you might be able to feel a bit more release in the right hip. Just notice what's true for you today. On your next breath in, draw the left knee up to meet the right. And as you exhale, stretch your right leg away. Once again, coordinating breath with movement. As you inhale, release the left thigh bone. And as you exhale, draw it a little bit closer. Once again, work at your own pace, with your own rhythm. Now just explore the feeling of breath coordinated with movement. Notice the sensation of stretch in that right thigh. And if you'd like to increase that sensation, lengthen the leg along the mat. On your next breath in, draw the right knee up to meet the left. And as you exhale, allow your lower back to melt into the mat. Release one foot at a time. And maybe walk your feet toward the edges of your mat so that you can allow your knees to comfortably rest together. Draw your fingertips onto your lower ribs, a couple of inches above your navel, and relax your shoulders and your elbows back into the mat. Take a full breath in and feel the ribs expanding and lifting under your fingertips. As you exhale, feel your fingertips drawing together across your midline. Breathe in, feel the ribs lift toward the ceiling and press back into the floor. And as you exhale, feel the ribs draw in toward your center. Stay here for a few full breaths. Breathing into the lower ribs and allowing the belly to soften with each inhalation. You can continue with this breath, allowing it to stay low in the belly and the lower ribs. Or if you would like, bring your hands up, give yourself a hug, and draw your fingertips more to your middle ribs now. We'll begin the breath with that same expansion in the lower ribs and the belly, but now the breath will continue up under the fingertips, expanding side to side. And on the exhalation, the ribs still draw together toward the midline. As you inhale now, the belly fills, the lower ribs expand, the mid-chest expands, and on the exhalation, everything draws back together gently. Notice whether your upper chest and your shoulders want to get involved in this breath, and see if you can coax it back down into the lower ribs and maybe the middle ribs. Continue with this nice, full, relaxed breath. Or come back to your natural rhythm. Draw your knees in toward your chest one at a time. Roll to your side. And press yourself up to seated. Find a comfortable seat. Maybe sitting up on a blanket or two. And continue to remain aware of your breath. In your seat, feel your sit bones reaching down and the top of your head reaching up. Come back to the rib-centered breath if you're able. Finding nice full inhales and full exhales. And once again, we'll coordinate breath with movement, coming into a seated cat and cow exercise. On your next breath in, draw your shoulder blades together and open your collarbones. And as you exhale, round your spine and roll back over your sitting bones and your tailbone. Breathe in, draw the body forward, fill up. And breathe out, round back. Continue this at your own pace. Filling up and emptying. Coordinating breath with movement. Come into an upright seat again. Find your full breath. As you breathe in now, you might like to become aware of the sensation of the breath rising up from whatever you're sitting on, filling the lower ribs. And as you exhale, think of the breath descending back down into the earth. As you breathe in, the breath rises up from your sitting bones, your feet, your lower legs. And as you exhale, the breath returns to those points of contact between you and the earth. Still filling up the lower ribs and the lower belly with each breath in. And grounding down now with each breath out. Next breath in, really lengthen through the spine, draw up. And as you exhale, take a gentle twist to one side. Keep your spine up tall. And notice that even though the base of your lungs is restricted here, you can still take a full breath. It's still enough. Come back to that grounding sensation if you choose. Breathing in from the earth, expanding the lower ribs, and breathe out back into your grounding. Enjoy another couple of breaths here. Get longer on the inhale, and maybe twist a little bit deeper on the exhale. Stay nice and easy through the neck and the shoulders. And really focus on the sensation of the breath in this position. On your next breath in, come back to center. Sit up tall. And the next time you breathe out, take your twist to the other side. Again, notice that it's a little more challenging to take a full breath here, but it's still enough. Breathe in, ground up. Breathe out, back into the earth. Let your neck come into whatever position is most comfortable. And take a few more full rounds of breath here. The next time you're ready to inhale, unwind and come back to center. Relax your shoulders down your back. Feel the breath filling belly, lower ribs, middle ribs, and then releasing and grounding. Take another couple of breaths here. And spend as long as you like on this diaphragmatic breath. Coaxing the breath maybe a little bit lower than it's accustomed to being in the body. I hope that you'll use this practice whenever you need a little bit of space. Just a few simple movements and a mindful breath. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.